Yeah, I did notice that sign last night, but only after I'd already finished setting up. Hey, welcome to Walk America. My 454-day thus far journey on foot across the country in the YouTube series that documents it poorly. Enjoy. Worked. I figured out it's an incinerator plant down there where they burn trash and turn it into energy. So there's been like a million garbage trucks just going by. I don't know why that's not standard. It seems like it should be standard. We have a lot of trash. We need a lot of energy. Conversion, easy. I'm sure there are factors to consider, but I've considered them. Still seems like a good deal. Yeah, I did notice that sign last night, but only after I'd already finished setting up. And the incinerator isn't like 100 feet down the road, it's like a mile down the road. It's a long road and there's nothing on it except for the incinerator at the end. So I figured they wouldn't care because I'm not like near enough to like be attempting to do any damage or anything. All right, it's time to roll. You can see how well hidden I was behind there. Can't see me from the road. And everybody that was driving by on the road looks like this. Big old garbage trucks. And they're supportive, as I said. I think he said like keep walking or something. In like a nice way, not like get out of here way. Anyway, but they're also like driving tall trucks. So their heads were like above the tree lines of like branches, so they didn't see me either. Win, 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 win. Now we move forward onto Jewett City. I also don't understand this. I've seen this more than 3 times. The fine for littering, that's what the sign says. Fine for littering. It is $219. Why 219? Why not 200 or 250? Why 219? Such a strange number. Not a big deal. Don't worry about it. Just stay in your lane. Hills. Also, I lost my sunglasses. Very sad about that. I really like downhills. This road is extremely pretty though. I'm in a municipality called Lisbon, and it looks like it has a very small population. It doesn't really seem to be like a town center of any note, and so I bet you these roads are not traversed very often except for by locals. Just means like this is a real, I don't know, it's a really raw place. People don't have to change because they know there's a lot of traffic and they'll be highly visible, so people just really live up here the way they want. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I like it. I haven't stepped in a Walmart in a long time, but I lost my trusty Foster Grants this morning. This is a new pair, and that's why I'm at Walmart. Man, that really washes it out. But it felt weird. Everything looks so clean and neat and organized. It's funny. People just give me food on the side of the roads these days. And if I don't have those snacks, I just stop at a McDonald's once a day. Or whatever, Subway, something. Anyway, so going to Walmart like once a week used to be like a big part of my routine. I haven't been in one in months. Very odd. That Spirit Halloween inhabits what was clearly once a Dick's Sporting Goods. Are they not doing good? I can't remember. I'm out of touch with the world. Just tried uploading a YouTube video at McDonald's. After like 10 minutes, it got to 1% uploaded. And that's a no for me. So I'll do that later somehow. After this morning's jaunt through the backwoods, we are back on Route 12. Just outside Jewett City at this point. And we've reached the threshold of not showering where I can smell me and I don't like it. So that means that with the combined chance of rain and the presence of some cheap hotels on the horizon means that, pretty trees, that means that's what I might be going with this evening. It's about that time. I don't love spending the money, but it's worth it to get rid of this stench. One of the side effects of America, so I'll walk America, you might not think of, you just stink a lot. I remember I got in the car with someone, and they were like my age, so they were okay with being frank. And they just rolled down the windows, and they're like, you stink. And that was back in August when it was hot. So it makes sense. Welcome to Jewett City. It's pretty. It's weird though. Half the stuff is labeled Jewett City this or that, and everything else is labeled Griswold this or that. Like even Town Hall was named Town Hall Griswold. So I'm not sure what's up with that, but I'm gonna have to Google it. Okay, mystery solved. So Jewett City, despite being named a city, is actually a borough in the town of Griswold. It's confusing for you. The only other thing that Wikipedia had to talk about with this town was that in the 1790s, one family had a bunch of its members of its family all die of tuberculosis over a span of 9 years, which is kind of long. And so they were under the impression that it was vampires. And so they they exhumed the bodies of the vampires to be, and then did certain things like burning parts of them or rearranging the bones in the shape of a cross under the skull to make sure that the dead stayed dead. True story. According to Wikipedia, this happened in the 1790s. I'm assuming it was in the press at that time, or like people knew about it. But everybody kind of forgot about it, and then some kids were playing on a hill in town in the 90s and found the cemetery where they were buried, which at that point was unmarked and had been forgotten. So they found 29 graves, and they found the unique method of burial described earlier, and that's when the story was rediscovered 200 years later. It's pretty cool. I just had a lady come up to me, Lisa, with her gaggle of lovely looking children in her car. She says she's a mother of 8, which is pretty crazy. 4 of them she said she's adopted, and all of those children she said require special needs. That is an impressive woman. Anyway, she said she's been following along, and she was excited to see me. She didn't think it would happen, but lo and behold, sometimes fate is in your favor. And then she just hands me 2 handfuls of quarters. I put them all there in that pocket. She goes, I've been following along Here's laundry money. What a lady. Thanks, Lisa. You are a champion. Not the for sale sign, but the occupants of the vehicle. Jermaine, Lauren, and their little daughter, Evie. I wanted to come in and say hi and bring me some fuel. That's what I'm talking about. Thanks, guys. That is one of the most beautiful barns I've seen. The stone foundations, green roof, red paint. It's in a state of something resembling disrepair, but it is beautiful. Back there?
There's a house back there. I don't think it's the owner. The owner, it was in a little seizing thing.
I just arrived at the hotel and I got an email while I was looking at my phone. And a lady named Heather said, "Hey, I know you're probably not going to see this," which is always a great way to start off because then I'm like, oh yeah? And then I make sure I read it because psychology. She's like, "I'm about to go grab dinner at a place called Hank's Dairy," which I had actually walked by, I don't know, less than a mile ago. And I had actually stopped to a lady named talked to a lady named Megan who ran out and got me a keychain. She's like, "Hey, I have a keychain for you." She was working at Hank's Dairy. And when she saw me walking by and taking pictures, she ran out and got me a keychain from Hank's Dairy. Anyway, so I was like, perfect, I'll actually get to eat there. And she's like, oh, Heather, the one who reached out, said, like, if you want to come with me, feel free, in the next 10 minutes, because I'm going right now. So, like, within a couple minutes, I was like, I'm in. So she came and got me. We went and grabbed some food, and then she dropped me back off again because she was getting the food for her kids. Thanks, Heather. You're the best. Subscribe.